Hi and welcome to episode 65 of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name's Caroline and I'm coming to you today from my home in Fife in Scotland. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to have you here. Oh, it's been a week. And not a fun week. We'll talk more about that later on. What I would like to say is to the lovely Zoom ladies, thank you so much for the support and laughter that has been had over the last wee while. Thank you for listening to all my rants, of which there has been lots. I genuinely do not think that I personally would have got through the last few months without you lovely ladies. Sorry, there's a seagull that keeps... I don't know if he's doing laps or what. It's annoying. I'm going to do the proper podcasting thing and see what I'm wearing. This is... Can you see it? Yes, you can. This is my circle, of which I love. However, Miss Ailey loved it a lot and has put several holes and catches. I'm going to have to go and repair it. As you can see, that is not an end. That's an actual stitch that I've had to knot to stop from coming loose. I had stupidly left it sitting on the back of the chair and gone out to the living room to pick something up. Came back to find Miss Ellie going, and she's caught it all and she put a hole on this side, actually right there because I can feel it at the other end. I've had to knot that bit and there's just pulls and catches all over the place. However, I do live in this. This is the Circle by Ailbiona McLochlainn. I will leave details down below. I am also wearing... I don't know what the marks are because if you actually look at it on the screen, it looks like there's marks there. But when you look at it on here, there's none. I don't know if it's the yarn or what it is, but apparently there's marks on it that aren't there in real life. This is Easy by, I think it's Isabel Kramer. I'll leave bits up there and down there and stuff. And I'm also wearing my very comfy, can I get my leg up? I don't know, Lysiantha socks. I've lived in these as well. These make my feet toasty. And same as I went to bed last night and left the bedroom window open, unfortunately in here was like a freezer. You can find detailed show notes on the Arya Bark website, which is aryabark.co.uk. You can find me on Ravelry as either Arya Bark or my personal account, which is Salta. We have our Ravelry group, which is the Arya Bark Podcast. We have a private group on the website for anyone who would like to take part in make-alongs and chatter and just other stuff. If you would like to sign up, you can go find the form by going to the community tab, then groups will ask you a few questions, make sure that you're a crafter, and I will then email you to let you know that you're able to log in. We have an Instagram page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have a Facebook page, which is Arya Bark Designs, and we have a Ko-fi page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We are currently running 2 make-alongs at the moment. The first one is the hashtag ABD StashSmash 2022. It started on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group on the website for your entry to count. Prizes are going to be drawn quarterly. There will be physical prizes for the FO thread. The winner is chosen by random number generator. Mr. Bark and Andrew will choose entries from the charter thread, and those winners will receive a partner of their choice up to the value of £10. Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. As long as it can be measured in metres, it can be entered. So knitting, crochet, Tunisian crochet, spinning, weaving, think that's it. If in doubt, ask. We don't mind. Goals are at your own discretion. You can increase and decrease whenever you like, and each person entering will have one FO thread post that all projects will be logged in. Our next McLochlainn is the hashtag Yappy and Scrappy Blanket McLochlainn 2022. Again, this one started on the 1st of January and ends on the 31st of December. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group for your entry to count. Prizes are going to be drawn quarterly. There will be physical prizes for the FO thread, with the winner being chosen by random number generator. Mr. Bark and Andrew will choose an entry from the charter thread. Entries from the charter thread. Sorry, apologies. Entries from the charter thread, and those winners will receive a partner of their choice up to the value of £10. Again, whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. The only rule is blankets must be a minimum of 16 by 16 inches to qualify. There is no maximum blanket size. That is entirely the crafter's choice. Make sure that when you're putting your entries into the FO threads that you're also placing them into the charter threads to double your chances of winning a prize. Clearly my queue is not long enough, and I like to be able to comment on pictures saying that, apologies, that's lovely, I've added it to my queue. Because let's be honest, that's generally what happens. Also, if you are planning on using the hashtags on Instagram, please make sure that you're using the correct ones. They can be found either on the Ravelry groups, or alternatively they are in the description box below, and they will always be placed up above while we are discussing them. If in doubt, go to the Arya Bark Instagram page, look at my posts, and there's pictures that show you what the correct ones are, now that I've corrected both of them. This week we have Going Out, StashSmash and Whips. In this week's podcast there is just lots of knitting. Lots and lots of knitting. And timestamps for each section can be found in the description box below. I am feeling very, very accomplished this week. I am starting to finish things off. I know, don't be shocked, I am the person who casts on all the things, then gives herself anxiety because nothing gets finished. I finished not one, but 2 projects this week. The first thing that was finished is my Rose City Rollers by Mara Catherine Bryner. The goal was to finish both socks. Now, both socks are finished. However, I think I may have possibly done them a tiny bit too short. As you can see on, am I even using the right feet? I don't think I am. I am going to pause here because I do think that Mr. Bark is back with dinner, because Miss Arya is getting very, very excited. And I will swap these over to things that actually match my feet size and not Ryan's. Apologies, Ryan returned with dinner, so I've had my dinner and I fixed my socks, so we're set. So again, Rose City rollers on feet, slightly better proportioned feet. I do think I'm slightly short in the length of the foot after the integrated heel. Again, did the rounded toe, doesn't sit on this particular foot very well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one on a big foot and one on a small foot. That might work better, because you can show the toe off better on the big feet. Right, so rounded toe, really liking a rounded toe, and integrated heel, which doesn't sit in the foot that well, but that one does. That one does. So this was where I was last week. I was there on both socks, done the heel and the foot and the toe. However, obviously the goal was to finish both socks. Both socks are finished. Now I'm going to stick this one up here. I have tried them on. I don't like how short this is. I thoroughly enjoyed the pattern, don't get me wrong, the pattern was really good. However, I think I probably would do a wee bit more round the ankle, more off the back. I would do a wee bit more on the ankle, then put in the heel. As I said before, integrated heel by Ailbiona McLochlainn. Absolutely love how that heel fits. You'll be able to see. Can you see? Nope. You might be able to see here. There's the integrated heel part and the heel turn. Absolutely love it. Was it that one or this one? Did something slightly different. And if you see here, I've got a wee hole at both ends. Did follow the pattern. However, on this one, I jiggery pokered it, and there isn't the heel there, the hole there. So I am very happy with that. The integrated heels are a paid for pattern on Ravelry. The Rose City rollers are a free pattern. I used, look at me being professional, have a ball band. Don't have the spare yarn because I moved it. Can't have both. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. It is in shade 941, which is Robin. This is it here, or as Ryan likes to call it, the Christmas pudding socks. He does not see robins, he sees Christmas pudding. He would be slightly concerned if my Christmas puddings had grey bits in it, but whatever. You get 400 metres in 100 grams, and it is, oh, where is it? Well, I wouldn't get very far because it was upside down. 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres in 100 grams. I used 77.6 grams. 77.6 grams? Really? I don't think that's right. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I do not think these socks weigh 77 grams. Thanks to the handy scales. These I have used 37.80 grams and I have used 151.2 metres. Not a great amount. They're shorties, they're not going to use a great amount because I have teeny tiny feet. I used a 2.25mm high sharp on a 32-inch cord. I do enjoy these. I can see a lot more of these in my future. Maybe a wee bit more on the leg and making sure that this is correct and measuring that before I put my toe on. And I've already said that they are a free pattern on Ravelry. My next finished object is my Bridge Before Home cowl. I am very, very happy that this is done, and I've got stitch markers in. I think I may have got slightly confused about where I was the week before. I think it was somewhere, where did it go? I think it might have been somewhere down here. This is an amalgamation of the Bridge Before Home socks by Angela Magowan. I'll stick a picture in. I made the socks during a Zoom with Angela from Knitting on the Farm, who is Angela Magowan, clearly, and my friend Heather. We were discussing how the sock pattern needed to be a cowl, and I had used Knit Picks Felice. I think the socks were done in Stormy Sky. Sure, it was Stormy Sky. I had more Felice left, so I done the cowl and I'm obsessed. Ryan purchased me more wool wash and it smells stunning, but I am very, very happy with how it turned out. This yarn and that pattern work really, really well together. Basically what I done is took the stitch pattern from the socks and added it to the Sockhead cowl by McClure. The Bridge Before Home socks are a paid for pattern on Ravelry. If you're unable to use Ravelry, you can contact Angela on Instagram. She'll arrange payment and getting patterns to you and stuff. The Sockhead cowl is free on Ravelry, and yeah, I used Knit Picks Felice in shade River Rock. I ended up using 98 grams or 390.7 metres. I am very, very happy with this. However, things I would not do in the future: half twisted rib on a 2.25mm needle. Never, ever, ever will I do that again. I had got, and it would help if it was the right way round, I had got to the rib. I was like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to have this done in no time. And knitting away. And looked, and I'd done half a row. This pattern was enjoyable, fun and quick. The ribbon was horrendous. Not going to lie, did not enjoy it. I had made a joke on one of the Zooms where I was going to pay someone to come and cut the yarn and run away with it so that I didn't have to do the full 4 inches. Now, as you can see, can you see? I think that's, it looks like it's no, it looks like it's, I've actually done extra bits. I've not. There is exactly the same number of rows. It's just the bottom bit I ran out of towel. Exact same. So I am very, very pleased with this. Obviously, Mr. Bark did joke that, well done, you finished the cowl just as summer's starting. I stay in Scotland. I stay in a coastal town in Scotland. We are surrounded by water on 2 sides. Chances are, one, it's probably going to snow in July, or there's going to be gale force winds up our path, so it means nothing. Absolutely love this pattern. I would definitely do this part again. I will never ever do this part again on such small needles or on half twisted rib. Is there anything else? No, I think that's about it. So that is both my finished objects for this week. Very, very happy with myself that have made a start to finishing off my projects. My goal is to craft 26,000 metres this year. At the beginning of the week I had crafted 9,832.66 metres. I have done the maths because clearly I hadn't used 77.6 grams. I have crafted 541.9 metres, which brings my total this week to 10,374.56 metres. I am quite happy. I'm getting to the stage where I'm nearly halfway there, which is great. I have not brought anything in this week, which means I'm still sitting at 12,659.53 metres, which means to target I have 15,625.44 metres. Not horrendous. It is attainable. Obviously I've got Andrew's cardigan, I've got a top, and I've got another jumper of my own. So there's 3 projects that are going to use at least 1,000 metres. That's not including the scrappy projects, which I'm hoping to start back up. So far this year I have crocheted 174.04 metres. I have knit 10,200.53 metres. I've not spun anything and I've not woven anything so far this year. I will need to get my finger out on them. As I've previously mentioned, I am taking part in the Ravelry Project Challenge. My challenge is to craft 30 projects in 2022. So far this year I have completed 13 projects. Again, no horrendous. That is not horrendous. It does mean that I need to finish 2 projects by June. Is that right? Yeah. I need to finish 2 projects in June, and then I need to finish 2 projects a month for the rest of the year. That's slightly concerning. So I'm currently sitting at 43%, which it's no great, but it's a lot better than what I was doing last year. Now, my first whip is a blast from the past. Now, what was I trying to cast on? And I thought that would be so much easier if I had 9 circulars. I think it might be the jelly rolls. I was needing to cast them on, and suddenly had the realisation that I did not have a 9 circular to do the second part of the sock. So I decided to pull these out. These are my Christmas socks from 2021. As you can see, it's now 2022 and these socks are still not finished. I have very little idea where I was. I think I must have been somewhere down here. Right, this is sock 2. Sock 1 was pretty much there. And sock 2 was... It would have been easier if I actually showed you when it was actually pointed right way. Oops. Sock 1 was down here. Sock 2 was down here. I have now got the 2 socks up to the same part, and I am now going to work the 2 of them together. I have not decided how long these are going to be. As you can see, as a rule, I generally like the legs to be about the same size as the foot. However, I've not quite decided if I'm going to do that or not. I am doing a UK size 5. Obviously the foot's been done. I have used the shadow stitch heel, which I will show you here. So that's the shadow stitch heel. The pattern calls for either the fish lips kiss heel or a German short row or an afterthought heel. The fish lips kiss and the shadow wrap heel are pretty much the same thing. There's a slight difference between the shadow wraps, shadow stitch and the fish lips kiss. They're pretty much all the same heel. Yarn that I am using, don't die of shock people, I actually do have the ball band. This is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply, and it's the sparkly one, very sparkly, and it is in shade, hold up a wee bit, 1051, which is vintage tinsel. Still no seeing vintage tinsel, but never mind. Have I even said what these socks are? No, I haven't. Goodness sake. These are the Fidget socks by Amy Stringer. They are a free pattern on Ravelry. Again, I'll leave the links down below. I have added in a stitch marker to show where I am just now. Obviously they're marking all the repeats, so I can actually take some of them out. I am making a UK size 5. I am unsure what that is anywhere else. I'll leave bits. Let's be honest, I'll need to leave bits up there because I didn't actually check. Modifications, the pattern calls for a fish lips kiss heel or a German short row or an afterthought heel. I have done the shadow stitch heel, which is pretty much similar to the fish lips kiss heel. Sorry, I'm taking on my stitch markers back. I had stitch markers on the front and stitch markers on the back. There is no need for this sock to have that many stitch markers on it. I'll leave the ones on the back in. I think the last time this was on the podcast I had to rip it back because the pattern, I don't know what I'd done, but I managed to muck up the pattern at some point. They are both working out properly. The pattern is running the way it should run, so you're not going to get the join at like this part where the front and the back meet. It's not going to be the same pattern on both sides, which was what it was looking like before I ripped it back. My goal for this week is to work an hour a day on it. I think I started these originally last year. Now, when did Mandy have our sock along? So that would have been what? August, September, October, I'm sure, was when Mandy's sock along was. And I had started these during the sock along. The goal had originally been to have them done for the 1st of December. That came and went. And they're still sitting. I need to get these off the needles. Obviously, I still haven't started Andrew's Christmas socks from last year, and I haven't started Ryan's Christmas socks from last year. So I'm kind of wanting to get all last year's Christmas socks finished. I think it would have been better had it's not I don't like the pattern can be quite enjoyable. However, I do take moments to myself where I'll be knitting along and then I'll realise that I'm missing this part and I have to rip it all back out again. I am using a 2.25mm high sharp on I think it's a 32-inch cord. It is a 32-inch cord. As I said, the goal for this week is to do an hour on these a day. I'm needing to get on top of my whips. Obviously, these have been sitting since Christmas with both my 9-inch circulars. I was needing them back. I do have a spare one which I've already got in the project bag, but I was needing another one so that I can get the two of them at the same point. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. The plan will be first thing in the morning I'm going to do an hour, and with any luck they shorter than the other. Oh, that would not be funny. I think one of my socks might be shorter than the other. Might just be the way they're sitting. It's a good job one of my feet are shorter than the other. So that's the plan for these. So I'm going to stick these back in. And I'm going to stick the ball band back in because I'm forever using ball bands. Is there anything else? No, I think that's it. My next project. Again, this week I have managed to reach every single one of my goals. I am very happy. The goal for this week on this project was 5 inches on the body. I am happy to say that I have managed to get 5 inches on the body of my summer tee. This is the summer tee by Vera Sanon. As I said, this, we turn it round because it's easier. This was where I was. Last week I have managed to do just slightly over 5 inches. I have finished the waist shaping decreases. I have started working on the A-line increases. I've got a few more of them to do. The summer tee is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I don't think there is anywhere else that you can purchase the pattern. I am doing a size 6, which is the large, or a 44-inch bust. Obviously I've done quite a fair bit down the body. Goal for this week will be to finish the body. Now, I am pretty sure I have either got 3 or 4 more A-line increases to go. I think at that point I'm going to measure it, because I'm wanting it. I don't want it sitting at my hips. I'm wanting it to sit a wee bit lower, so I might have to add another couple inches on. I am definitely wanting to get the body of this done, because I am so over working on this project now. It really should have been finished a lot sooner. Don't get me wrong, I still love working on it, but I need to start getting stuff finished. Do I have a ball band? Did I remember to stick it back in? Yes, I did. Look at me. 2 projects, 2 ball bands. Wow. This is Drops Cotton Merino in shade 21, which is the heather colour. I absolutely love the yarn. I love the colour of it. I love how it works up. It's so pretty. There's a couple of catches on it, because I've got bits of needles hanging everywhere. They'll all block out. The cotton merino is a 50% cotton, 50% merino wool. You get 110 metres and 50 grams. I am using a 3.7mm higher sharp on a 32-inch cord. The pattern is really, really well written. The summer t-shirt is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Obviously I will link them down below. The only modifications that I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra maybe inch and a half to the sleeve, because I think it comes to about here. I'm wanting it to come further down. Again, a really enjoyable pattern to work on. I just need to shift and get it finished. My next project in my lovely, goodness sake, my Cottage number 9 bag that was gifted to me from my lovely friend Heather. Now, am I going to go for a hat trick and have 3 projects that all have... Yes, I am. Look at me. And what I'm going to do is I'm even going to stick both my 9-inch circulars back in this bag. Now, I do have the ball band for one of the yarns that I'm using. I don't have the ball band for the other one. However, I do have a picture which I'll stick in there. These are the Jelly Roll socks by Mara Catherine Bryner. Again, I'll stick a picture in. They are a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I have started one. This pattern, how did Angela, I can't remember what was said, we were talking about something, and the lovely Angela from Knitting on the Farm had stuck a picture of these in. I was like, oh, I will add them to my list, and I have. I've started them. Now, as you see from the picture, it's got the 2 roll top parts. So what you do is you do one in one colour and one in the other. So the two colours that I'm using are these. This one is Drops Fable in shade, now is it 330, which is Berry Dreams. This is leftover yarn that I had from some top that I made, but I don't know where it is. I wonder where that top went. Don't know. I'll need to go look for it now because it's going to annoy me. And this one is King Cowl. I'll take that off my finger. This is King Cowl Zigzag in shade 3235, and it is purples. It's got purples in it, and there's splashes of greens and blues and light pinks and white and loads of other colours. The plan is to do the top roll in this, the bottom roll in the foot, the bottom roll, the foot, the heel and the toes in that, and then together, because there's a, what's it called, is it an arch ribbon, I think it's called, and the two. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to go do the two of them together and be slightly fancy. The drops is 205 metres. I keep saying 210, it's not, it's 205 metres in 50 grams. The zigzag is 410 metres in 100 grams. No, 420 metres in 100 grams. I don't know why this wasn't 100 grams. I think I split it off or something. And I'm just going to finish. That's going to be plenty to do the jelly roll. Now, because this has the additional bit on it, I'm not going to lengthen the foot. So obviously once I've done the second roll and you go into the heel, I'm just going to leave it like that. The one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make sure that I measure from the heel turn to where I start my toe, which is why these are a teeny tiny bit out. What I done was I counted on the Lisianthus socks how many rows that I'd done. However, the high twist sock yarn from my Yarny Corner is slightly plumper than the West Yorkshire spinners, which means it was off. The Lisianthus socks were done on a 2.5. These were done on a 2.25. There was lots wrong with this. So my plan is, once I have turned the heel, I think I'm going to then keep measuring until I get to what Ailbiona tells me to have for my foot before I add the toe on. I am using a 2.25mm high sharp on a 24-inch cord. I do have two 2.25mm 9-inch circulars to do that on. Once I've done what I'm needing to do, which is combine the two parts together, I'll maybe do that on the 9-inch circular first. Will I do that on the 9-inch circular, or will I do it on this? I'll figure it out. I think the plan's going to be is I'm going to get them, the two parts that roll, on a needle. Don't care what needle, as long as it's on a needle. And then I'll do the two of them together. Is there anything else? No. The jelly rolls are a pay for pattern on Ravelry. Again, I'll leave them linked down below. The goal for next week is to get past the heels on both socks, because I want to do the two of them together, because that way they're going to be correct. So I'm going to stick them back in with all their accompanying bits. Again, the Jelly Roses, it's just stocking it, going round until I get past the heel, and then that's it. Modifications, I did miss out the modifications. I am going to be doing the integrated heel by Ailbiona McLochlainn, purely because I'm liking how that heel's fitting. Plus, I would like to try and get it to the point where I can choose what heel I'm going to put in at any specific point. When I've done the Rose City Rollers, I only had to look the pattern up to find out how many stitches you had to knit to before starting the short rows. I can remember what that number is. I know how to do. I also know what the number is for how many increases I'm needing to do for the gusset increases. So fingers crossed, I may actually be able to do the integrated heel without actually bringing the pattern up. However, it is on my iPad in the event that I have a menopausal moment and forget what those numbers are. My next pattern, it's not my pattern, my next project is Papillion. Now, excuse me a moment, that ball's looking awful. My next project is Papillion. Excuse me. I haven't actually stopped in the middle of a row. This is where I'm leaving the beginning round marker. This is Papillion by Svetlana Volkova. I am making this to enter into the Mouses Makes podcast hashtag knitting with Ukraine. Love it. I'm not going to lie, right? How good is that bit? I have not made a major mistake. Technically no true. I did make a mistake, but it was easy enough to take back and I fixed it. Not like my normal mistakes where I get like halfway down the body and then I go, oh botherations, my lace pattern's not working. Now, I'm not going to be able to show the lace because allow me to try and show the lace. Is it going to show? Maybe. No. Kinda. There you go. That is the lace pattern. Goal for this week was to get the sleeves separated from the body. My sleeves are indeed separated from my body on the jumper. Clearly my arms are still attached to my body. That sounded wrong in all the wrong ways. I am still correct on the stitch count. Now, can I swivel this around? Now, I do have 2 stitch markers in. The little yarn ball, getting in a tangle. Right, so the little yarn ball is the first pattern repeat. This was where I was last week in the wee shell. I have done a massive chunk. Now, as I said, the goal for this week was to separate the sleeves. I have separated the sleeves, done the underarm stitches, and why are you all tangled? I genuinely love this pattern to death. There was a few frustrations when I first started it where I couldn't figure out how to do the envelope neck on the first attempt. my increases were wrong, so I had to rip it all back out and start it again. All the increases are there. Obviously, I'm at the sleeves. It sits perfect. I don't have a big enough cord to stick it on to make sure that it definitely fits. However, I am getting gauge, so I'm not going to be too overly concerned. Absolutely love this pattern. There was a mistake in the pattern for my size where there was 2 increases missing. In the grand scheme of things, is that enough to badmouth the pattern? No, it's not. There's a mistake. It happens. We're all human. The pattern is really, really enjoyable. The only 2 things, obviously, minuscule thing, there was a couple of increases wrong. There's a couple of increases short, no major thing. The other thing that might possibly be a problem is you are never told where to place your beginning round marker. So I'm literally just making it up as I go along. Again, no enough to sit bad-mouthing the designer or bad-mouthing the pattern, because the pattern is really simple. To the point where I was doing the increases. Now obviously you have to, I think you see it here, obviously you start off working the sleeve and then at this point you increase the sleeve in the body. I didn't move my page from the lace chart. I made a note on, actually no I didn't, by this point I'd already worked out how many increases I was needing, all the stitch counts and everything, and I was literally just marking them off as I done them. That's about the only issue that I'm having, is obviously it doesn't really clarify where the beginning round marker should be placed in the pattern. It doesn't really matter. I stuck it at a raglan increase and it worked. It's still roughly about where it should have been. So again, it's not a major thing. I'm still thoroughly enjoying the pattern. My plan is to do another 5 inches on the body. I think I've got a few more inches to go before I start the waist shaping. Now, at present there's not any modifications, however, I think what I may do is I'll see how the summer tee fits and I might actually do A-line shaping in this as well. Again, I might make the body slightly longer. I'm pretty sure this sits mid-hip. I'm wanting it to come to the top of my thigh. Absolutely loving it. I am using Stanley Yarns Kachina in shade, now I need to make sure I'm holding it the right way around because I keep holding up things upside down, CG210, which is the grey. These are 100% acrylic. You get 1000 metres and 200 grams. Now Papillion does call for a DK weight. These are 4-ply. I'm holding 2 strands together, as you can see. I had made the mistake of pulling from the inside on this ball. It looks like a dog's dinner. On this cake I may possibly pull from the outside, and that way it's not going to collapse and be a mess. I've said you get 200 metres. No you don't, you get 1000 metres and 200 grams. I have 2 cakes, which means technically I have 2000, is that 1000 metres? No, it's 1200 metres, so technically I have 2400 metres. My maths is shocking. You wouldn't think I've got a maths qualification. You get 1,200 metres per ball. I have 2, which gives me 2,400 metres, but because I'm holding it double, the 1,200 metres will be enough. I did forget. I did say last week that I was needing to check how much yarn it uses for my size. I've still not checked that yet. I will do that while I'm uploading this. I am using a 3.5mm and a 4mm Drops Classic or Knit Pro Nova on a 32-inch cord. I don't think the Drops Classic comes in bigger sizes. I might look to see if I can get more cable sizes for the Drops Classic, only because I went to put this on. I'm used to having like 16-inch cords in both my Knit Pro Zangs and the Highs. I've got 16-inch cords. Went to put them on 16-inch cords, found that I have 24 232s and a 40-inch. Now obviously I'm using the 40-inch on this. I'm not having cables clattering about, so I just use scrap cotton for that. Papillion is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I don't think there is anywhere else that you can purchase the pattern. I have had a look. Again, thoroughly enjoying the project. Again, what I'm going to be doing with my projects this week, because it worked out really well last week, is doing obviously my Christmas socks. That's what I was looking for, Christmas socks. I will do an hour of that every morning. Then I will do the start again because that was getting far too rambly. Working on one project in the morning and one project at night seems to be working. I think my plan will be is to do the hour each morning on the Christmas socks, and hopefully I should be able to get them finished next week, or at least close to being finished. Doing Papillion and the summer t-shirt alternate days, because that seems to be working, and that will leave me either doing the jelly rolls or the fairy tale socks, which I haven't as yet not spoken about, not finished. So that will be the plan. Goal for this week will be to get another 5 inches done on the body. Hopefully that will be the increases done, because the rounds are a lot shorter now than what they have been, and I will keep having a look to see if I'm just going to do it straight or whether I'm going to do sort of like an A-line version. I've said it's paid for pattern on Ravelry. On to my final project, which is being housed in the lovely My Yarny Corner bee bag. How cute is that bag? My tassel. Honestly, this tassel should come with a health warning, because I just sit and randomly play with it. Absolutely love it. In my lovely bee bag is my next project. Really, how nice is that yarn? This is Fairy Tale by Vicky Morose. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I will leave a picture in because there is not enough of this pattern for you to be able to see. I am using, maybe a minute to see what ones, it doesn't really matter because they're both attached. I am using, goodness sake, I am using My Yarny Corner, and this is shade Shine Bright, which is 100 grams or 400 meters. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Now, this is how it's working up. Very, very pretty. Now, as I said last week, I am not a massive pink fan. Never ever have been. Mainly because my mother would stick me in pink. And matching outfits with my sister. There's like 5 years difference. My sister and I could not be any different if we tried. No girly. Really no. But have a look at that. How stunning is that? Now, as you'll see, I don't know if you will see. Can you see? Possibly not. Let me have a look. Where are we looking? We're looking here. There is matching decreases down here. My slip knits are all over the place. I think I may have possibly cracked it. I won't hold my breath because purple doesn't suit me. However, see, it's just, this side's nice, that side's wonky. The pattern doesn't tell you exactly how to do them, so I've pretty much just played until I've got one that looks right. I have done one full pattern repeat. Now, did I stick? No, I just stuck a stitch marker in. So what I'm going to do is, again, to make life easy for myself, I'm going to stick a stitch marker in. This is where I am. Slight concern that I have with this, obviously the pattern's perfect. I had considered doing a slightly longer cuff. However, these were started the same day as I finished. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. These had been finished the same day that I had finished the Bridge Before Home cowl. At that point, I was ribbing out. So when I was contemplating doing a slightly longer cuff, I was like, no. I'm doing the 10 rows that she asked for, and that's it. No more. I'm not overly annoyed that the cuff's quite shallow. However, the pattern is looking stunning. Again, I am doing a UK size 5. I will again leave what that is in other places. Again, modifications, I'm going to be doing the Indicated Tail by Ailbiona McLochlainn. I've said what the yarn is. Love it. Oh, it still smells. Oh, I could sniff that all day. This is absolutely stunning. I would like to say a huge thank you to Alex and Danny for my yarn. Love it. As I said, no pink person. Absolutely love that. It puts me in mindy. There is a burger shop opened up down the street on our high street, and they do milkshakes, proper milkshakes with bits in. If you order, sorry, get itchy nose. They do milkshake with bits in. So if you order a strawberry milkshake, it will have like chunks of strawberry in it. When you get it, it does actually look like that. So these are my strawberry milkshake socks. Where has I got to? Tangents. Stay on topic. This is why your podcasts land up 5 hours long. My plan is going to be for this week to get another 2 repeats done. Now obviously I have started the second sock. I may possibly do one repeat, then go on to the other sock, do one repeat, then go on to the other sock. I'll see how that goes and how annoyed I get and how quick it takes me to get there. My Yarny Corner is on YouTube. Alex does a podcast, I think it's every fortnight. and they have an Etsy shop. Please go and buy all their stuff. Bargain. Their bags are just stunning. The yarn, I may have, what's the word, excessive but worth it amount of their yarn in my stash, and it's just gorgeous. Can you tell I'm starting to get tired? I am using, that wasn't the tangent I meant to go on. I was meant to talk about needles. I am using a 2.5mm high sharp on a 9-inch circular. I, again, don't know whether I'm going to keep them on the 9-inch circular or whether I'll eventually put the two socks together. Not quite figured that point out yet. You may come back next week to find that these two are getting done two at a time. Goal for this week is to get two full pattern repeats done. Whether that's on one sock or both socks, I don't care, as long as there's 2 repeats done on something. I've said it's a free pattern on Ravelry. There is a known issue with the written instructions for the fairy tale socks. I would advise that you check that out. Somebody called it a mistake. To me, it's not a mistake. A mistake is the written instructions. There is a mistake in the pattern. For the chart, the wrong symbol's being used, and it's only a certain part. It's literally, you could see this mistake for space. And again, I called it a mistake. It's no mistake. This part for space, and you know, because of previous lines, you know exactly what should be there, so it's technically no mistake. It's to make sure that you're looking. We'll call it that. It's check that you're concentrating. But again, would I badmouth the pattern for that? No, really. It's a free pattern. The socks are really pretty. Those socks and that yarn are marrying up gorgeous. Like, honestly, look. Gorgeous. Is there anything else? No, that is everything. Sorry, it's been a bit. That is exactly how my brain feels this week. I am going to put these away because I have juice sitting on this table and I keep knocking it, and one of these days I'm going to knock it and the juice is going to go on my yarn and then I'm going to have to cry. Right, so that is them. Oh, yeah. Said I was doing the integrated tail, that's fine. Integrated tails, I paid for pattern on Ravelry. Life stuff. This week has been a week and a half. Arya had to have her injections restarted due to an omission and some sort of, I wouldn't say it was a mistake by the vet. There's some confusion about whether Arya's been getting the boosters that she should have been getting. So we're just restarting our injections over again. I feel like it's like she has to get her injections, like rather than have it once a year, she gets it done. She's already had one injection done and she gets the rest of the injections next month, and then she's fully vaccinated. It's not as if it's a major thing. So I did remember eventually that appointment was happening, because if you remember last week I did say that I had a few appointments next week, but I couldn't actually remember what they were. There was a doctor's appointment for Ryan's dad. Completely forgot that. Slept through that appointment. And Arya's vet appointment, which I did remember because I had put that on my phone. Andrew was hoping to be here today, however his hours were changed at so short notice, which means that who knows when he's going to be back. He will be back at some point, when we don't know. Is there anything else? Do we have anything else coming up this week? We have a load of stuff coming up this week, but nothing that is knitted related or in any way fun. Again, we would be very, very grateful if you could hit the subscribe button We are very, very close to 200 subscribers. Yes, so please hit the subscribe button down below. We are hoping to do the 200 subscriber is the word that I was looking for. Subscriber giveaway very, very soon. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Natters are a Wednesday at 8 PM British Summer Time, or a Friday at 11 AM British Summer Time. If you would like to join, message me on Instagram. I will add you to the group, and you'll get passcodes and reminders and stuff like that. I think that's everything. I am going to go. I am getting exceptionally tired. And apologies for the chatty podcast. Hopefully this video has been broken down into 3 parts. I am well aware of how many minutes each part was, and I'm kind of hoping that some of that can be taken out. Nobody needs to hear a 3-hour podcast. So I hope you have a very, very crafty week, and I will see you back here again next week. Bye!